Alright, welcome to the video. So in today's video, I want to talk about the rerun for the next patch, because if you've seen from the live stream, we are actually getting 3 reruns instead of 1. So I wanted to talk about things to consider before getting either one of the reruns. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. Okay, so the 3 reruns that we are getting are Kafka, Black Swan, and Robin. It's a bit of a tough one because the new character that we're getting is Fei Xiao, and I do definitely want to consider that whenever we talk about these 3 reruns, and I'll explain why in a bit. Now, I do want to start off with Kafka. And to be honest, just throw in Black Swan as well and talk about those two. Because the thing with Kafka and Black Swan is that they are each other's best teammates. And it is definitely pretty interesting because Dot really haven't gotten any upgrades since Black Swan. Now, you can obviously say that you could just run Dot with Acheron and go for a Dot Acheron team, which is also fine. But to be honest, the Dot archetype itself just feels very lackluster, or just maybe not lackluster, but it feels forgotten by Hoyoverse, because we haven't gotten anything. And from the next couple of characters, Fei Xiao and Ling Xia, as well as Rappa, it doesn't really look like we're getting any dot support. So it's really hard to recommend Kafka without Black Swan and Black Swan without Kafka. Now, if I should give some pros for Kafka, I would say that she is the dot enabler. She's able to front load the dot damage, which obviously is great, both with her skill and her ultimate, and she's also able to apply her own dot. And another pro that I just mentioned is that she's able to be run with Acheron actually. But the thing is, Acheron just got a new support who is on the banner right now. It is Xiao, who's actually very strong with Acheron, and Acheron definitely got an upgrade with that. So running Kafka Black Swan over Xiao doesn't really benefit that much, I don't think. I still think that Xiao is a better option instead of Kafka or Black Swan. It can be hard to recommend Kafka if you want to build her, but I do think that she will be one of the strongest characters if the meta shifts towards dot teams. If we're getting 2 or 3 new dot characters, but in this moment in time, I'm finding it really hard to recommend Kafka. And now, I do think that it's a great time to say, but if you do want a character, you should just honestly get them, right? I shouldn't persuade you to not get a character or to get a character. It's just more so, do you like the character? Do you like the playstyle? Do you like the kit? Do you like the voice actor? Do you like the design? Do you like the story? Right? It's all of those things combined that should make you decide whether you want to pull or not. With that being said, let's move on to Black Swan. Now, for Black Swan, it is definitely a bit interesting because a lot of people are saying that you can use Kafka without Black Swan, but you can't use Black Swan without Kafka. Compared to other dot characters, Black Swan is definitely doing the highest amount of dot damage. She's very good in pure fiction as well. I do think that it's pretty hard to really recommend Black Swan as well. Not because that she's a bad character, but because if you do want Black Swan, I would also recommend you getting Kafka. It's just a bit of a bummer to say that, oh, if you pull this character, you have to pull that character, and if you have to pull that character, you should get this other character. And then in the end, you're just getting like 3 new characters and you can't pull them all, and your team is just struggling. So, would I recommend Black Swan over the 2 others? Honestly, in this meta, I would say no. I do really like her design. I like her VA. I think she's a great character, and personally, I don't have her myself, but I do have Kafka. But the reason I didn't get Black Swan is because I did want Acheron, so I just skipped everything until I got Acheron. Alright, so with that said, let's move on to Robin. I really think that Robin isn't really tied to another character, which is definitely a pro. A lot of people think that she's tied to follow-up teams because of her trace. I think that her whole kit, even without that trace, is insane. She's able to action advance your whole team. That means that if you have other debuffers, you can just debuff the enemy even more. If you have DPS characters or dual DPS characters, you can just do more damage. And if you have skill point positive sustainers, you can just get more skill points. If I should say a con to her, you have to know about action advance, and you also have to know when to use your ultimate. And also her ultimate cost is very high, which can get annoying, especially if you're playing her outside of the follow-up team. Now, if you're getting Fei Xiao, I actually do think that Robin is an excellent choice to get from the reruns. But the thing is, I actually don't think that Robin is tied to Fei Xiao, and I don't think that Fei Xiao is tied to Robin, in the same way that Kafka and Black Swan are tied together. And obviously a lot of people might disagree with the Black Swan and Kafka take, which is fair. You can definitely use them alone or just use them separately. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, I actually do think that Kafka and Black Swan really struggles without each other. So which of the characters will I recommend getting? It really depends who I want to recommend each of the characters for. If you have Kafka and don't have Black Swan, you could consider going for Black Swan. If you have Black Swan but don't have Kafka, I do think that you should get Kafka. If you have neither of those, Robin is the best choice, obviously, if you have to get one of them. Now, if you're solely basing it towards who the best character is from all these three, at the moment in time, I will say it's Robin. I think she is just OP. I think she's OP. I have Kafka, I don't have Black Swan, and I don't have Robin. So I'm definitely getting Robin. I will definitely go for Fei Xiao, but I will go for Robin first because the value for Robin is insane. I just think that she can age out very well. With the way that Kafka's kit works, I do also think that she will age out very well. I hope that I gave some insight to who you should get or who you shouldn't get, but in the end of the day, I just think that you should get whoever you want to. I shouldn't persuade you to not get a character or to get a character. You should just pull for whoever you like or just whoever you want to. But yeah, if you're going for the reruns, let me know who you're going to get, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.